Long ago, the prehistoric world changed with the seasons. Summer brought heavy rains that flooded the lower valleys. Inside their warm cave, Ka's family felt safe and secure. Ghost, the young direwolf, rested peacefully by the fire. The children were laughing, playing with small wooden toys. But nature never allowed humans to rest for too long. Outside, the bright afternoon sky suddenly turned pitch black. Massive purple thunderclouds rolled over the mountain peaks. The wind began to howl, shaking the ancient pine trees. "A mega storm is coming," Ka whispered, looking outside. He knew the danger of a flash flood in the valley. His elderly parents shivered as the air turned damp. "The fire must not die," his old father warned weakly. Without fire, the damp cold would bring sickness to the kids. Ka immediately began gathering more dry wood inside the cave. Suddenly, a blinding flash of lightning struck the valley floor. A deafening roar of thunder shook the very foundations of the cave. Torrential rain poured down, flooding the paths within minutes. Water began to leak from the stone ceiling, dripping near the flame. Ka's wife quickly used animal skins to shield the fire.
"The water is rising from the ground too,"
She cried out. Small streams of muddy water rushed inside the cave entrance. The family retreated deeper into the dark, narrow tunnels. Ka held a burning torch high, guiding his children forward. Ghost barked protectively, walking ahead to sniff out danger. They climbed onto a high stone ledge inside the deep cavern. Below them, the main cave floor was completely flooded. They had saved the last glowing ember of their sacred fire. But the deep tunnels held secrets older than mankind. A heavy, musky scent drifted from the shadows ahead. Ghost froze, his grey fur standing completely on end. He let out a low, defensive growl into the darkness. Ka gripped his stone axe tightly, holding his breath. Two massive, glowing red eyes appeared in the deep tunnel. Out stepped a giant prehistoric cave bear, twice the size of a man. The beast roared, a sound that made the stone walls vibrate. It had been sleeping in the deep tunnels to avoid the storm. Now, the intrusion of humans and fire had made it furious. The children screamed in terror, hiding behind their mother. Ka's old father tried to stand, holding a pointed stick. "Stay back!" Ka shouted, stepping in front of his family. The giant bear raised its massive paws, showing sharp claws. It charged forward, its heavy footsteps shaking the stone ledge. Ka swung his burning torch to blind the angry beast. The bear swatted the torch away, breaking it into sparks. Darkness swallowed the ledge, lit only by the small ember below. The bear lunged, its sharp claws narrowly missing Ka's chest. Ka dove to the right, crashing onto the hard stone floor. The beast turned its attention toward the terrified children. "No! Stay away from them!" Ka screamed in desperate panic. Before the bear could strike, a grey blur launched forward. Ghost bit down hard on the bear's thick back leg. The giant bear roared in frustration, turning to attack the wolf. Ghost was fast, dodging the heavy paws inside the narrow tunnel. Ka used this precious moment to regain his footing. He found his stone axe in the dark, his hands shaking. The bear trapped Ghost against the stone wall, raising its paw. Ka knew he had to act instantly to save his companion. He let out a fierce battle cry, charging at the giant monster. The final struggle for the cave had officially begun. Ka jumped onto a large boulder to gain a higher angle. He swung his heavy stone axe down with all his might. The axe struck the bear's thick shoulder, cracking the stone blade. The giant beast howled in immense pain, turning away from Ghost. It swatted its massive arm, hitting Ka squarely in the chest. Ka flew backward, crashing hard against the cave wall. His vision went blurry, and his stone axe slipped away. The bear stood over him, its hot, heavy breath hitting his face. Ka looked at his children, who were weeping and screaming his name. I cannot fail them, Ka thought, his willpower flaring up. Ghost recovered quickly, biting the bear's ear with fierce rage. The bear shook its head violently to throw the wolf off. Ka's wife bravely threw a large stone, hitting the bear's nose. The combined attack of the family confused the giant predator. Ka crawled quickly, grabbing a sharp broken stalagmite from the floor. He stood up with a final burst of adrenaline and strength. As the bear turned back, Ka thrust the sharp stone point forward. The stone point struck the bear's armor-like chest, forcing it backward. The giant cave bear realized these humans were too dangerous to fight. It let out a defeated groan, shaking with pain from its shoulder. The beast turned around, choosing to retreat deeper into the tunnels. Its heavy footsteps faded away into the pitch-black darkness. Ka dropped the stone point, falling to his knees, gasping for air. His family rushed to him, wrapping their arms around his neck. Ghost limped over, gently resting his head on Ka's lap. We did it, my brave friend, Ka whispered, petting the wolf. The danger of the monster had finally passed them by. But below the ledge, the flood waters were still rushing loudly. They were trapped in the dark tunnel, without a burning torch. Only the tiny glowing ember remained in the leather pouch. Ka's wife carefully opened the protective leather pouch. The small orange ember was still breathing, glowing faintly. We must feed it before it dies forever, she said urgently. Ka gathered dry moss and small wood shavings from his backpack. He placed the dry materials gently over the glowing coal. He blew softly, his warm breath coaxing the spark to life. A tiny wisp of grey smoke rose, filling the dark tunnel. Suddenly, a bright orange flame burst forth, lighting the cave. The children cheered softly, their faces illuminated by the warmth. They built a new, stable fire on the safe stone ledge. The shadows retreated, revealing a beautiful, dry, hidden room. The old grandparents sat by the heat, sighing with relief. The fire keepers have won again, the grandfather smiled proudly. Ka's wife used water from a clean drip to wash Ka's wounds. They roasted dry roots and smoked meat over the beautiful flame. The delicious scent brought comfort back to the small tribe. Ghost ate his share of the meal, resting his injured leg. Outside, the terrible summer storm continued to rage all night. Thunder crashed, and the river below rose even higher. But high on their stone ledge, the family was perfectly safe. The fire kept the cold dampness away from their bones. The children curled up together, falling into a deep sleep. Ka sat near the entrance of the tunnel, watching the fire. His wife rested her head gently on his strong shoulder. You are the shield of this family, Ka, she whispered softly. Ka smiled, looking at his sleeping parents and children. The Stone Age was an era of endless, brutal challenges. Nature would throw storms, floods, and monsters at them. But as long as they had love, courage, and fire, they would live. The first father closed his eyes, ready for tomorrow's battle.